Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this little shindig that we like to call the zombie apocalypse. And of course, whenever we're starting with the zombie apocalypse here on Grimjack 21502, every Friday we start with a new group of people. And so before I can tell you what is in store for them, you need to know who you should be rooting for in this hellish landscape that they have volunteered to go into. So I will start directly below me with DM on the channel, Don. Don, how are you doing today, my friend? And are you ready for the zombie apocalypse?
I'm great. I'm having a great day. And I feel like mentally I've told myself many times throughout my life that I am ready for the zombie apocalypse. But what scares me the most today is having to sort of look in a mirror and find out, like, am I a brave man? Am I a coward? What am I? And yeah, that's scarier to me than, well, the zombies are scary too. I guess we'll see.
Absolutely, absolutely. All good plans, all good mirrors, all good thoughts about yourself. What's that line? I'm not a coward, I just never been tested. I'd like to think that if I was, I would pass. So let's jump over to new friend on the channel, a brand new face, Samantha. How are you doing? And are you ready for the zombie apocalypse? You're muted. See, I can probably do here. There you go. Nope, still muted. Sure thing, I'll jump over to Steve. Steve, how are you doing, my friend? And are you ready for the... Nobody knows Steve. Steve is seldom here. He's not somebody... He's going to be the first to die, let's face it. Steve, how are you doing? And are you ready for the zombie apocalypse, my friend?
Hi, I'm Steve. Yes, I'm ready. Me and GJ have fought zombies for a long time, but now he's going to be throwing them at me. So we'll see how this plays out. And I'm ready to do some Dempsey lines. So, fucking boom. Let's do this.
I got you, buddy. And I would be lying if I didn't feel like I had betrayed you. And after all of our endless campaigns against the undead, I am now on the other side. So I will let you all know in the car that I am rooting for you. I'm on your side. The mechanics and the system are not. So maybe together we can face this horrific evil and see you through to the other side. Let's go back to Sam. Sam, I thought I heard you click in.
I think I'm in.
There she is,
I'm
everybody.
Okay.
Everyone, Samantha, new friend of the channel, are you ready for the zombie apocalypse, my friend?
Now that I'm not muted and people can hear me scream for help, I am ready. I feel like I'm prepared, and I've been preparing my whole life for this with plenty of zombie video games and movies. But when it comes to real life, you never know. So here's to hoping that we survive, or some of us at least.
That's great, and I will let you guys know that last Friday, at the end of the episode, we're all living. Now, the three groups prior to that usually ended up with 25% killed, 25% to 50% seriously wounded, and the other 25% fine. So one of you probably has a good chance of being in the same shape that you are now, and one of you probably is going to die. But how's that for a segue as we go over to my buddy Trey? Trey, how are you doing, my friend? And the same question, are you ready for the zombie apocalypse?
Yo, what is going on? Here we are in another game. And I know what goes on in that dark, twisted mind of yours. So I know it's going to be something absolutely ridiculous. I just want you to know now, I hate you and I love you. It's all at the same time, man. I think I'm pretty much ready. I think I've got a little bit of zombie knowledge going into this. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I'm like, why the hell would you open that door? You got a gun in your hand. Why didn't you use it? All that maddening stuff. I'm gonna see how it translates when I'm jumping into it. So I'm hoping the rest of the team is ready. I got my war face on. I'm ready to crack some skulls, bro.
All right. Hey, that's energy. And That's the one thing that the zombie apocalypse needs, everybody, is energy. So we've got Trey, we've got Steve, we've got Samantha, and we've got Dawn, and we have a donation. Let me go over and check real quick, which is a perfect segue as to what I was going to ask for next. I think I already know what this is. Yeah, it's a donation, everybody. You'll find out in good time exactly what that was. Anybody, as if on cue, Lord Conti was able to show us how you can affect the play that you see on screen. If you look straight down into the donation tables, you will see that you have the ability to provide advantage or successes, which are like nat 20s for the survivors. You also have the ability to make things worse. You can contribute what is called a maniac to the setting. A maniac is exactly what it sounds like. Think Jason, think Michael Myers. Also, last week we had put into play by Catalyst the Horde. You can donate to have 20 zombies just appear around the players. Narratively, I will provide a segue to such a horrific event, but it is possible to damn them at any point that you would like. However, I would also like to admit that you can also help. This is a brutal system, and the system, everybody, can be found over at DriveThruRPG at this link. A lot of the elements of it are free right now because they are starting up the second season of We're Alive Frontier over on Alpha. And you may think to yourselves, and before we start, I always like to tell people this, I could survive the zombie apocalypse, no problem, I'd be great. Oh, you think that? Go to this link, which is the personality test for the very game that we're playing. If you answer the 40 questions honestly, you will get your scores in the 4 statistics: strength, perception, empathy, and willpower. If you plug them into the character sheet, you will realize at best you have a 36% chance of getting something correct. Because, ladies and gentlemen, even walking and running in the zombie apocalypse is exponentially more difficult when being chased by the undead. So, before we start, I promised everybody on screen that I would tell both them and you all, how did we get here to the zombie apocalypse? So, audience members, both on YouTube and Twitch, and players, welcome to Outbreak Undead Session 5, Stuck in the Middle. It started almost 9 months ago. People started getting sick. A global pandemic was declared. Those not exhibiting symptoms were quarantined from the vast majority that were. These preservation pods, as they became known, were federal or state government facilities. Most were military or public safety in nature, National Guard centers, police barracks. For over 6 months, these pods ran throughout the country, until the food ran out. Reports from the outside were vague at best. Radio and television reported for a while, but quickly reverted to looped warnings. Now the internet lasted a bit longer, but the information was so unreliable it was impossible to tell what was fact, if anything, and what was fiction. Some of the rumors were as follows. The sickness was man-made. It was a terrorist attack. The whole world was infected. A meteor had passed too close to the Earth, bringing some form of radiation. It was a super strain of influenza caused by antibiotic overuse. On and on and on. Finally, everything went dark, but the last bit of information to reach the pods came one day, nearly 2 months ago. It stated, many infected with the sickness died, perhaps as many as 90%. However, they did not stay dead. Soon after passing, the corpse would reanimate, and as zombie movies have led us to believe, they become mindless, aggressive, and hungry. As for the other 10%, these living infected, they did not die, quite the contrary. These beings exhibited evolved senses, speed, strength, and savagery. They hunt in packs, but do not seem to be able to communicate in the traditional sense. Finally, Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City had been able to push back the dead and infected, but at great cost. The area now known as the Mega can protect the living inside and support them with food and supplies, but as of now cannot advance their front lines. And there was one last dire warning. To anyone seeing this message, help is not coming. The dead and infected outnumber you 80-1. You must find your own way to the Mega. We are waiting for you. Now, as for your pod, you were all remote enough to not have experienced anything more than a few of these zombies. The soldiers assigned to you had put them down with little trouble. None of these infected had been sighted. The soldiers believed the normal zombies relied more on sound than either sight or smell, though they believed their smell was augmented somewhat. With supplies at critical levels, those in charge of the pod proposed an escape to the Mega. Several convoys consisting of 4 to 6 vehicles each would make the trek, taking different routes. For safety, each vehicle would travel 30 to 60 minutes apart. If any vehicle experienced trouble, protocol obligated them to fire a flare into the air so the trailing vehicles could be warned and reroute if necessary. The agreement among the members of the convoy: if you see a flare, you can come and help, or you can turn and go away. It is the apocalypse, and survival of the fittest is on the table. Currently, it is 11 p.m. Your vehicle, a throwback to the insanity of the 1970s, a pristine 1974 Volkswagen Thing, hums down Interstate 68 towards the Mega. A road sign says Garrett, Maryland is less than a mile away. On the road ahead of you, you see no other members or vehicles from your convoy. There is no 72 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, no 78 Ford Bronco, 84 Dodge Ram, or 1980 Chevy van. So far, you haven't encountered any hostiles. You are vehicle number 5 in the convoy. Welcome to Garrett, and good luck. I would like you to make a spot listen check, my friends.
Not good starts.
I would like you all to make a second spot listen check for me. Okay. As we begin, I already believe that Samantha is driving the Volkswagen Thing, as she is the only one capable of driving a stick shift, I believe was. We're not sure about Trey, but Sam is behind the wheel, as we have a shotgun seat and then a rear passenger and a rear driver side. Please tell me where everyone is sitting, and for the audience, please tell us the weapons you are carrying.
As the driver, I have a pistol and a bat.
I'm sitting behind the driver in the back seat. I've got a pistol and a combat knife.
I have a AK-47, and I'm sitting behind Trey because he's shotgun. He's in the front.
No choice, Trey.
Is that word?
No pressure. All right, I'm riding shotgun, baby. And I've got a pistol and a bat. Good old trusty Louisville, baby.
Okay, and as we get started, we did have an aforementioned a donation come in, but we've also had a couple more. Advantage for all from the resident psychic of Project Athena, Sabella Ives, and for Trey, a critical success. So you have another competency point, Trey. So if there's something you desperately want to succeed on, you now have an additional means in which to achieve it. So everyone, as we are driving into Garrett, I will let you know that for a little bit of meta, there were flares that have been set up and sent into the sky from a couple of the earlier vehicles. Unfortunately, you did not see the one that came first. However, as you are driving into the town of Garrett, Maryland, I will tell Samantha this. You're driving along a 2-laned interstate. Now, there are abandoned cars every once in a while, but they're staggered in such a path that they might be a half mile, 3/4 of a mile apart, so you're easily able to take to the other lane and kind of navigate around them. And as you're driving, both you and Trey notice that the regular nature, the geometry of trees and hills gives way to the squares and rectangles of the darkened structures off to your right, which would be the south as you travel to the east. It is there that you recognize that this is the very powered down, very dark Garrett, Maryland. But, Trey, as you're scanning from the front passenger seat, the shotgun, you see ahead maybe a mile, 2, 3 in the distance as a red burning magnesium flare rockets up between what looks like two hills or two sheer cliffs of a valley. It seems to be directly ahead of your path.
Hey, everybody, hey, heads up, there's a flare, somebody needs some help.
Do we want to give them help, or is that them telling us to not go that way?
I'm guessing if they're shooting a flare, they definitely need some help.
I think we're crazy. I think we need to keep driving.
Was it ahead of us? It's ahead of us, like straight on the road, right?
Directly
Straight
ahead of you.
We're heading in that direction anyways.
I mean, can we get around it? Is there another route that we can go?
Everybody roll spot listens for me, and I will tell you this general statement as you are creeping forward. Actually, I should ask, Sam, do you have the thing's headlights on?
Sorry, you said it's about 11 p.m.?
Yeah, it is very dark.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah, I'd have the headlights on.
Okay. So as the sort of dim bulbs of the Volkswagen thing's headlights illuminate the abandoned road in front of you, as these successes come in, Steve, it is you that, as you are looking around, you notice that there has been at least some type of activity in this area, but past one of the abandoned cars that's coming up quickly on the right-hand lane, you see just beyond it an exit ramp that seems to either take you into Garrett, Maryland, but you also see what looks like an underpass that creeps back under the highway and heads to the north away from Garrett. So if the flare was to the east, Garrett is to the south. This road that you see, Steve, travels north.
And we believe, and north is the way we're heading to get to the mega.
East is the way you're headed.
We got to go east. There's an exit right there if you want to take it. If not, keep going north and we can try to circle around and go back down. That's up to you. You're driving, Sam.
I mean, I'm just transport. Someone's got to navigate me. Do we have a vote? Where are we going? Straight on, or do we want to take the exit ramp?
Maybe we want to hole up for the night and get moving in the day when we can see a little bit better.
If we stay in one place, we don't know what's going to run up on us.
Yeah, I say we keep moving too.
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Do any of us have a map?
Yeah, you have a very generic, like, interstates of the United States map that basically shows that the route that you were given, there are several convoys at play here that were leaving the pod, but the route that you were given is the route that runs through Interstate 68, splitting through Maryland, and basically is on a beeline course with Baltimore and or Washington. That was the route that you all were given. There are alternate routes to go. It would take some backtracking as you are in the western Maryland Highlands, and there are, as Steve will attest, very few ways to get in or out of this place.
A lot of one-lane roads, dirt trails.
Just the first thing I'm going to think about if I see some danger is to get ready for it. So as far as supplies that are inside of the car, what do we have available?
I will let you know that as you guys kind of converse a bit. Sam, have you come to a stop, or are you continuing to creep forward?
If we had been like trying to decide on something, I would have come to a slow stop.
Okay.
Or like, well, I wouldn't have stopped. I would have like slowed down so it's like a crawl. So while we're trying to decide if we're going to go off the ramp, if we're going to go straight, if we're going to go some other direction, I wouldn't have stopped completely though.
Okay. So as you kind of creep and slow down, you're rolling a little bit, and as the soft rubber of the thing's tires kind of crackle over the gravel and debris, as you slowly go, inside the car tray, you guys have enough food and water to get you presumably to the Mega. You also have a flare gun, which is to be used in emergencies if your vehicle is considered to be in trouble. And you also have the aforementioned first aid kit that will, if given enough time, help you help one of your people.
Do we know the people in the other convoys? Do we know them, like, personally?
Yeah, because you guys would have been in the preservation pods for the better part of 6 months. So these people ahead of you, some you may know better than others, as they have disappeared ahead of you. You don't know which vehicle is in trouble. If there is a vehicle in trouble, you just simply know that your protocol suggests a flare be fired if a vehicle of your convoy was threatened or in dire straits.
If we've slowed down, can I roll the window down and just like do a perception check to see if I hear anything? Gunfire.
We have windows.
Yeah,
There's
You
no
do.
windows.
there's no roof.
Oh, you have a
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah, what they are is it's part of the roof. You guys actually have a cloth roof that has a zip out windows, so you can and zip the windows out. You guys, if there were straws that were drawn for vehicle allotment, you guys got the short one, but you've got great gas mileage. I mean, it's been
It's economic.
I think we should
Right.
be looking for another vehicle as we're driving.
Gotcha. I'll let you know if you guys find anything that might be suitable. So as you unzip the window tray, anybody else that wants to do so, you are at a kind of a California rolling stop right here. If you want to roll a spot listen, go right ahead.
Definitely.
Okay, so Trey, as you unzip the window and kind of pull it inside, and you're sitting there and you're listening and you're looking, a couple of things hit you at once. As you're looking kind of down into the town of Garrett, you can smell what smells like wood smoke. It's not necessarily something that you can't hear anything, but you can smell wood smoke, and as you kind of watch and as you kind of creep, and this rolling stop gives you a little bit more glimpse of into Garrett, you see kind of an orange glow. It's something definitely not natural as far as light creation. It looks very much like flame as it is flickering and moving and growing, and even from this distance, the aura of this emanation lists and weaves and waves, and you can see it. And as you look and kind of turn back to say something to the group, you look past Sam, and just beyond the hill to the north, you see the exact opposite in light sources, as you see a very white, very static, almost imperceptible glow.
Are you all seeing this? I don't know if the city's on fire over in Garrett, but what's even stranger is there's something glowing over here to the left.
Well, does it look like kind of like the fire in the city? Does it look like a car had like some kind of car fire, or just someone who left their fire up, or what does it look like?
I don't know if it's a car fire. I think it's kind of big. Given from where we are to where it is, I think it's a big fire.
It's way too far away to distinguish what the source of it is. It's in respect to everything else, Trey, it doesn't look like it's like city-wide. It looks as if there is a distinct area in which it's captured, but other than that, it's impossible to tell from this distance.
Well,
I don't think we should go into town. I think we should avoid Garrett.
Yeah, everything's telling me being in close quarters in a city with lots of hiding spaces is not the best choice. But I don't know if I want to stay on this main road, especially if they lit that flare off. I mean, maybe if we go the other direction, if we go north for a bit, we can cut back around.
then we'll go into that glowing light, whatever that glowing light is.
We might be able to see our surroundings better going that way too. If there's anything there, we'll be able to see it.
Yeah, is there any lookouts that we could go to, Jeeves, to like kind of like survey? Because I know Garrett's got mountains everywhere. Is there anywhere we can kind of like think that we can try to like get an observation of the land?
I will tell you this as a general non-needed to roll type of check. It does look like the road rises in the direction you're going east, and it also looks like it rises to the north towards that white glow that Trey pointed out.
I say we head that way.
You know what? I'm starting to agree with you, Steph. Because if we're the last at the caravan, there's got to be some other cars that are seeing that flare ahead of us, and they can take care of whatever problem they got. Maybe we should go around.
Yeah.
Okay, so go north
Let's go north.
towards that glowing light.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna.
Okay. Sam, as you see the exit ramp coming up on your right, just beyond the car, as your lights start to creep down this ramp, in the distance, continuing along to the east, you see two things. You see what looks like an abandoned motorbike and what looks like a pristine chainsaw.
That was to the east, like on that if we stayed on that main road.
It only looks to be maybe 100 yards. It's just as you kind of turned and your beams hit it that you saw it in the distance, and it was just kind of laid out there in the middle of the highway.
Just a heads up, guys, can you keep an eye out? There's a chainsaw and a motorbike just kind of in the road, and their owners can't be far behind.
Do we have to drive past that?
No. If you drive down and take the exit ramp, you will not get close to it. You'll stay within about 100 yards away.
We could use that chainsaw.
Probably
just
use
swing
the
around.
motorbike, but
Yeah.
where's the owner at?
That's their loss.
Well, that's my thing. Or do we want to take the risk to try and grab that chainsaw? Well, I mean, there might not even be any fuel in the chainsaw. It could just be a blunt instrument.
We can siphon some
Fine.
gas somewhere, probably.
Find some fuel later.
Yeah.
Maybe we turn the headlights off and just kind of roll towards it and swing around and grab it.
Am I able to do that? Like, can what I see, do I think I'd be able to do like a drive-by like that?
Absolutely, yeah. You can see it clearly, so you can, even if you would turn your lights off, you would know where it is relative to, like, spatially on the interstate. So
Okay.
you could definitely maneuver the thing around it. The thing is a smaller vehicle than some of the others that have been on this road too. So getting and negotiating, even if you wanted to turn around on this highway, is not going to take a roll for you. So you could definitely do it very easily, as it has a very narrow turning radius.
Okay. Trey, are you going to jump out and get it, or who's going to go grab that thing?
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock,
All
paper,
right, boys, that's all you.
No,
I'll go get it.
I'll go too. I think two of
Okay.
us should go out.
That sounds good. I need booze. I need to find some liquor. That's what I need.
I'm with you.
I'm about to drink that gas.
Don't do that.
All right. Can I? You know how like shotgun, I can kind of like sit on the inside door in the window space. Can I do that and then look the other direction with my gun out? While
Absolutely.
they go and look. While they
Yeah,
go
so
and look for cover.
In which direction do you want to be positioned, Trey? Do you want to be looking back the way you've come, or ahead, or down towards Garrett, or north, south, east, or west?
North. I want to the opposite way of where they're going, because the bike is south, right? It's to the right of the car. Is what I'm assuming.
Yes, it would be to the right of the car. Yep.
Okay, so if they're going to the right, then I'm going to look and point my gun to the left, towards north.
Okay, sure thing. You go ahead and roll me a spot listen check, and Steve and Don, if you are getting out of the thing, go right ahead.
Back to
And
back.
tell me-
Dawn. Let's go back to back, buddy. Sam, you
He's
better
got
get
the-
ready to punch that thing if we get in trouble.
I'm ready.
He's got the knife out and the gun over the knife, kind of crossed. Back to
Of course,
Steve.
I'm definitely doing my Dwight Burke, and I've got the sights bearing down.
Sounds good. Okay, so Trey nailing these spot listens, man. Okay, so
Kill
Trey,
him, Trey.
Trey, as you are kind of sweeping the area, looking off towards the north, it's you, even from your position where you're kind of leaning up and checking the other direction, Sam, as you roll and both of the guys jump out from the back, with your lights off, it's not as apparent as it would have been. But Trey, as you turn and look, perhaps it is the clear sky, the starlight and moonlight that aids you just for a second, but you see the silhouette of shoulders and heads, and you see them shambling and moving. 10, 20, 30, and they begin to shamble, and you can see that the road ahead, maybe just a quarter of a mile off, is choked with the undead.
Shit. There's a horde ahead of us and to the north of us.
We gotta get back in. Do we want to turn around? We gotta turn around.
Yeah, the north is clear. It's
Oh,
just
the
to
north
the east. North
Oh,
is
it's
clear.
just to the east. Okay.
Yep.
All right, grab it and get back in.
Hey, how close are we to that thing?
You get
I mean-
to it. It looks like it's in fantastic shape.
Anything else? Looking around real fast, like we got lights.
Yeah, the spot listens would not go unnoticed right here.
God, wow.
Oh yeah, there
Don't
we
have
go.
me spot listen anything.
I got
Yeah,
only
you-
one failure.
I am
guys-
essentially blind and deaf.
Right. You
You're
guys
just driving.
you guys don't hear anything. Now, I will remind you, you guys have competency points, and those competency points can be used to offset any failures that you have. So, for instance, and this is not me trying to prompt this, Don has a 0 degree of failure. If he would use one of his competency points, he would actually bump that up to 1 success. So that's something that you can do in the future. You don't have to do it now. I'm not saying you should, but just keep that in mind but you will. Okay. Don, as you kind of focus in a bit, you don't see anything, but what you hear is the following. We got more of them here.
And where are we right now in relation to the motorbike, the chainsaw, and our car? Where's Steve and I?
You guys are just to the right of the thing. You are in the middle of the highway by the bike. As you get close, you realize that the front wheel of the bike is shattered. It looks like Pac-Man. It's circular with just a V as the frame has been kind of smashed inwards. The chainsaw, however, seems to be fine.
Saddlebags.
Grab it and get back in. Come on.
Obviously, it's a trap, right? You heard somebody say we got some. It's a fucking trap.
He'll whisper to Steve that it's a trap, that there's other people there, and as soon as he does, he will holster his gun, grab the chainsaw, and book it for the car.
Okay? As you all are running, Trey and Sam, you guys see Steve and Don as they are in quick retreat, an expeditious retreat back towards the thing. What would you all like to do? Specifically, Sam, what would you like to do as you are made aware of the horde? Yeah.
Being aware, I'm gonna hold until they are in the car, like their bodies are halfway in, and I'm taking off. Like as soon as I know that their bodies are inside, I'm gonna turn around or keep going north, because that's where you said they're to the east of us.
Right, you would have to backtrack just a bit and then be able to swing back down on the exit ramp, and then you would be able to go north.
That's what I do.
Yep. As you are easily able to spin, much like a golf cart, the thing is able to negotiate this large area, whip back around. Don and Steve, as you guys jump into the thing, you're able to look back through the kind of plasticky zipped window of the thing and see what is causing this type of flight from Sam, as this incredible herd and horde of undead seem to be coming back towards Garrett.
Jesus.
There's people here too, and they've set a trap. He'll say as he jumps into the car. I heard them. I don't know where they are, but we need to be careful we don't fall into that trap.
Well, those zombies will they'll cancel each other out. So let's go. And
Okay.
as soon as
All
they're
right.
in, I'll start like backtracking and getting back north.
Absolutely. So as you kind of wheel down the exit ramp, Sam, and you descend off of 68, as you're going down, do you turn your lights on or not?
I would turn them on because it's it's in the evening, so it's dark, and I want to make sure I don't hit debris or any other cars. So I would turn them on.
Okay, so as soon as you turn, you kind of pull the lights back out of their canceled position, and as you re-engage the lamps and they illuminate, you see at the bottom of the ramp another one of these dirt bikes. It's lying there, and it's still, you can actually see steam coming off of the engine area. To the right and to the left of this, you see gutted men. They are not zombies. They are not anything else. They are simply men who no longer have what was in them, as the entire area is bathed in organ and blood.
Holy shit. What have we stepped into?
At this point, knowing what I know, that there's a horde, and then telling me that there's a trap there, can I go around the dirt bike? It's not like I can like maneuver around it quickly, couldn't I?
Yeah, you can absolutely go around it. You are in the kind of field of excavation. And so as you go, your mind plays a bit of tricks with you, Sam, as every time there's a bump under the thing, you're not sure if it's just normal rocks or pebbles or if it's bone, tissue. And as you kind of run over these things, your mind allows you to run as well. But you quickly get around it, and the road to the north is open.
Have we passed the bike yet?
You're
Yeah, I
right
think we
beside it,
already
yeah.
did.
Does anybody know how to ride? I mean, I can ride a little.
I would not recommend. I mean, if you're in a bike, you're totally vulnerable.
Okay.
Unlike the thing.
Oh yeah,
Right.
just
Hey.
kidding. Either one, it's the same thing.
I'm starting to think twice about heading north towards that light and starting to think that maybe Garrett's safer. If there's a trap out there, that bright light might be their trap.
But remember, there's flames, unidentifiable red light coming from Garrett as well. Either we're running into something.
While you all are talking, have some spot listens from everyone who wants to look outside.
Yeah, it's almost like this is a lose-lose-lose.
Yeah,
scenario.
we're gonna catch an L. It's just which loss do we want?
That's good, Dawn. Nice, Dawn.
Uh,
I am just
John-
your driver. Don't expect me to tell you anything that's happening ever.
Dawn, as you are looking around and as you're kind of scanning the area, you again identify the glow to the north. It's fainter now that you're kind of off the elevation of the freeway. And as you look into Garrett, you can tell that perhaps a large, and with your double successes here, you can pretty much see where a large number of these undead have walked up through the underbrush and some of the bushes and small trees that line the hill beside 68, and you can actually see where the ground is trampled. As the group that's on the highway now, you would guess that it was probably just recently inside the city. It's been drawn out.
He'll point that out to everyone and say, now that doesn't mean the city's clear, Garrett's clear, but if we had a good chance to get through there and avoid whatever's to the north, we might never have a better chance than right now.
I'm agreeing with you 100% on that.
It seems like you guys are going to have to be my eyes and ears. So if we're turning back, then I'll turn back.
I say we avoid light, we keep it dark, we take it slow, and we use our ears as much as we use our eyes.
Okay, so you're
You got
heading
success. Okay, sounds good to me.
you're heading south into Garrett then, correct?
We're going into
Okay.
Garrett.
All right. So as you guys leave the site of the dissection behind, and you begin to creep into the dead town of Garrett, you don't see any evidence of the walking dead. None of the undead seem to be choking this area, but again, Don, you see evidence that they pass this way in great numbers. There are no stragglers, though, which is odd. There aren't any of these mindless creatures stuck in an area that would be negotiable by somebody with even increased intelligence. The roads are completely clear. And as you enter into the town proper, you see several things pop up. As you go in on the side, and it takes a while before you can actually see these things, but a strip mall appears to the right. There are several things in this strip mall. You see what looks like a hair salon, what looks like a couple food places, what looks like a bookstore of some kind called the Paperback Exchange. And as you're continuing to drive through, towards the left on the opposite side of the road, you see a familiar vehicle that is sitting there, idling. It is a 1984 Dodge Ram, and it was the vehicle, 2 vehicles ahead of you, and it is parked outside of this bowling alley.
We got a new ride.
We need to check it for supplies.
Supplies, check the tires, make sure nobody's disabled the car.
So are you going to drive up around it, or are you going to get out and look?
Drive.
Hey, does that chainsaw work? If we like give it a little tester in the back seat, does it start up?
Yeah, what kind of chainsaw is it? Is it
No,
steel?
no noise, no
I was
noise.
about to say, don't test it inside the car.
We'll wait. Just
Yeah,
curious.
I'll give you this, Don. If you kind of shake it, it sounds and feels like it is. The tank on this bad boy seems almost, if it's not completely full, it's very close. And it seems like it's in perfect condition. A little scratched up on the housing, but it looks good.
Hey, Greg, do we have a flashlight as a part of our supplies in the car?
You do. You have 2.
If it's okay with everybody else, I'd like to take one, and when we get close to the car, I want to inspect the car.
Well, do you want me to drive up close to it and like put the lights on so you have like extra lighting, or do you want the lights off so we
Drive. I'd say drive about 20 feet away from it, and then let me get out, and then I'll walk over and take a look. Put the
Okay.
lights on it though, and I'm gonna take a flashlight as well.
Okay. Or
I'll go with Trey.
okay, is someone gonna stay in here with me?
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
So
Looking for Melee
the
weapons.
the passenger side of the car empties as the driver's side of the car stays put. Trey, Steve, as you guys are creeping towards the Dodge Ram, what are Sam and Dawn doing?
Oh.
You go.
Oh, I'll come up and join her in the front seat, and I'll unzip the passenger side door, have maybe that other flashlight out, and just like, not for too long, just like little clips here and there, sweeps to make sure I don't see any movement, my gun out, ready.
I'm gonna like put the thing in neutral and like put my foot on the brake and just kind of hold it there, and then I'm gonna open my door or my flap, whatever I have, and just kind of like have the bat in my hand while I watch the other 2 check the other vehicle.
Okay. So as you are both on point, you 2 can roll spot listens for me. And as you are outside of the vehicle, we'll let these spot listens come in first, and then I will... Trey and Steve do not roll, just Don and Sam.
How am I not surprised?
Okay. Don, you're looking around, and as you kind of see this area again, you notice a couple things about the vehicle that weren't evident at first, because as you guys kind of came to a stop and they jumped out, you have a chance to look at it a little longer. It looks as if there are elements of chain link fence embedded in the kind of augmented grill and kind of the half cow catcher that's on the front of this Dodge Ram, to the point where some of the link is kind of drug underneath the bumper, as if they had gone through a fence or a portal of such, they definitely went through it somehow. And we're going to cut to Trey and Steve as you guys creep up to the car. You see a couple things. They found us. Help's on the way. Now,
we're saved.
Are we? As you get closer, you look and you see that the back right tire is gone off of this truck. And it seems as if the vehicle had continued to drive on the rim, as the rim itself is rubbed down, and it actually appears hot from the distance in the cool air, as you can still see steam rising from the rim. You think that even if you found a tire and rim to put on this, there's probably been some serious damage done to, the entirety of the vehicle. You also see the following. Several of the doors are open, and there's blood that seems to be pooling and dripping out of the one side. And it also looks as if it is smeared in places, perhaps as if somebody has lapped it like a dog, or drank it where it lay.
Trey, this vehicle is shot, buddy, and we may be spot listen,
Sure, you can. And Trey, you were
any tracks on the ground?
Spot listens would help here to determine if you can figure some of that out.
That's apparently has no clue what I'm doing. Neither one of us do.
Yeah, as you guys get close, you don't see anything. But Don, here's where the second part of your success comes into play. As you look over, just as you're scanning, you see that in front of the bowling alley, the dumpster that would normally be outside has been pushed in front of the door, almost forming like a barricade. And you see, perhaps at the top of the dumpster, what looks like an open hatch of some kind.
An open hatch at the top of the dumpster? Like, the dumpster's open? Or?
It seems to be either the dumpster or beyond the dumpster. So it looks as if the dumpster was put there purposefully by perhaps survivors. But it looks like there's some type of portal at the top of it, and it seems to be open.
How far away is the dumpster from my side of the car?
About 30 yards.
Samantha, I think I'm going to keep my flashlight on that spot and point it out to her. We might want to just kind of get down a little bit. If somebody's using that as cover, we'll see them pop up, but they might fire at us. And I don't like the range on my pistol here this far away.
Okay. Do you want to go? How far away are we from Dawn and Trey?
They're between you all, kind of off to the side. So you're,
sorry.
Yeah, Steve and Trey are about 20 yards away from the thing, and the entrance to the, you're kind of in between the two of them. So it's like 20 and 30 yards away, but relatively the same distance.
Okay. Do we want to tell them?
Like
they should maybe just come back here? They don't really have much cover except that car.
Yeah. I'll try to show it without being too loud. And real quick, he'll pull up out of the window and sort of hiss at Steve and Trey. See if you can get their attention for a second.
Do you want me to flash the lights? Just really quick. I don't know if that would get their attention.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna really quickly on off the lights. Well, I guess no, they're on. I left them on. Did I leave them on?
You turned them off when you went into Garrett.
That's right. I'm gonna really quickly like on for a second, off to try
Trey
and
and
get their
Steve.
attention.
Yep, as soon as kind of the lamps flare up, you both see the signal that Samantha sent to you all. It's no roll needed. You guys are aware of light.
And I'll show you the flashlight. Like I'll kind of shine it on the two of you and then swing it over to that hatch that's on the other side of our car.
Do we think that we can sneak up on the other side of the hatch, Jeej?
You'd have to get closer.
How far away is that hatch from us again?
You guys are, it's about 45 yards away from you all. But the thing is between it and you. So you'd be getting closer to the vehicle by getting closer to this hatch.
Okay, can I spot check the car just to see if there's anything that we could use before I leave? Can I use that as an action?
Mm-hmm. I'll give it a free action. You're able to look in and you can see that there are still remnants of food and water in there. If this vehicle was equipped the same way that yours was, it would be able to have enough food and water to get to the mega. Also, when you look in, you see under the passenger side a first aid kit.
Definitely grabbing the first aid kit.
Do I see like potential melee weapons on the ground I can pick up, like a pipe or?
My friend, you will know from our long campaigns that everything is a potential melee weapon. So there's nothing that seems better than what you currently have, though.
Which is nothing.
which is
I got a quarter. I can throw a quarter.
Well, that is me being nice and mechanically telling you that with your AK-47, nothing here seems like you could pick up and you. Okay.
Got it. I'm gonna try to sneak around on the other side of the hatch.
Okay.
I have a question. Sorry. You said that they found, like, obviously I wouldn't know this, but that they found blood in the car. Would Don, with his really good, like, was it just blood in the car or did it like pool out onto the ground?
It seems like it came off into the ground, and this is sort of meta knowledge, but I'll give it to the group. However, what Don had noticed before, the track marks of the herd and the kind of trampled earth seems to have eradicated anything that might have actually stood in this area.
Okay. I was going to say, if Don had that good of a spot check, maybe he saw the blood, but okay. From here, at least.
Right.
If Steven's going towards the hatch, then I say we get out on your side of the car. I don't like these cloth doors. They're not going to hold up if we start taking fire and get low, and we can watch out on the opposite side, make sure nobody's coming up behind us.
Okay. I guess I'm going to still leave it. I'm going to put the emergency brake on, like leave it still idling on the thing. And does it have an emergency brake? I feel like it would.
Strangely enough, yes, it does have an emergency brake because safety first with the
safety
thing.
First. Okay, then I'm gonna leave it in neutral, let it idle, and put the emergency brake on just to hold it there, and then I'll get down and take cover with Don.
Right. We may need to go fast and furious. So that emergency brake, if we're doing like turns, man, boom, you hit that emergency brake. So.
It's not one of the ones that you can jerk from the center console. It's one of those old ones that you pull from the bottom left, like you yank it upwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it.
It's got the foot pedal emergency brake.
Yeah, and it's basically it's got like a cloth, like leather tether that you keep. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's the thing. Okay, so as you guys get out, I'm gonna stick with you for just 1 second as Sam and Don, you get out and kind of afford cover to the area. Don, however, when you get out, you realize that as soon as you kind of clear some of the elements of debris that Samantha drove around, behind one of them is what looks like a long sportsman's bag.
How far away?
Maybe 10 feet.
He sort of nudges Samantha and gives her the watch me sort of fingers, and he's going to stay low to the ground. Well, I'm going to stay low to the ground because this is me that's taking this chance. gun up and move as quickly and quietly as I can around that debris to the bag, expecting something to pop out of it.
You get there, and as you close up on the bag, you see that it is partially open. And the closer you get, without the need for a roll because half of it is exposed, you see what looks like the butt of some type of weapon, firearm, but there is a terrible smell coming from inside the bag as well.
Cool. And there's nobody else behind this debris around the bag?
I mean, there's just general debris. The entire area is covered with things that look as if they, chunks of masonry and, like the aforementioned trampled earth and street signs that are bent and things that are just haphazard, by benches that were used to wait for the bus toppled and broken around you. But other than just signs of the apocalypse, nothing that pops out.
I will get real close with my flashlight and just flick it on, see if I can see what's inside the bag before reaching my hand into that thing.
How many flashlights did you say we had?
2.
Okay. So Trey has one and Don has one.
And you currently do not, as you're in darkness by the thing.
Okay.
As we cut back and as you kind of look to go into the bag, Don, we're going to cut back to Trey and Steve as you both get to the dumpster. A quick examination, and you can see that the wheels of this dumpster have been knocked off, and the inside of the dumpster is filled with bricks and cinder blocks and rocks, anything to kind of weight down this container. You can also see that there is blood leading up to the top, and you can see a handprint in one of the larger sections of it. And does anyone climb up?
Hell no. But I am gonna ready my bat. Not my gun. I had my pistol out the last time. I'm gonna holster my pistol and ready the bat. So whatever
it is, Trey. It's a good call.
Whatever is in there, it'll be a quieter melee attack.
Okay.
Stephen, Steven, I don't know if you want to look.
No, I do not want to look. I'm not that curious. Do I think I can shoot into the dumpster?
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually see through the slide all the way through to the other side, and just this kind of sea of heavy rock and debris. I'd like the two of you to roll spot listen checks for me, as I would also like one from Sam, as you are at the truck or the thing. It's an insult to trucks everywhere.
On this one.
Okay. Go ahead and burn that. That gives you an automatic success. Yep. If you want to use a competency like Steve did, it gives you an automatic success.
You have to use it. You have to use it after you roll, right?
You can use it before. If you want to just give yourself one success, you can go right ahead and.
Seeing as my past has not been a good rolls, I'm going to use one.
Sure. So everybody's burning competency here to look. As Dawn, you creep down and look inside the bag. As you look in the bag, you see what appears to be almost like a blunderbuss. It's a 4-barreled shotgun-esque weapon, and the smell that's coming from it is the arm severed at about mid-bicep the hand is still on the trigger. It looks as if whoever was using this before either lost the arm while using it or died while using it.
And then somebody put it into a bag.
For safekeeping, Don.
Right. Is the arm... Okay, so first off, I move so that the barrel of the blunderbuss is pointed in the opposite direction of where I am. And then is the arm's not moving, right?
No, no, the arm is very, very decomposed, very, very dead. But it's a good question here in the zombie apocalypse. No, it does not seem to be moving independently.
I will pull the arm and the shotgun out of the bag. And how maneuverable is that finger? How tightly is it squeezing the trigger?
It looks as if it was probably a death grip, but the hand has rotted so much that as you begin to move, it almost kind of falls away. So it's no longer even on the trigger as you...
Okay, yeah, and I'll use my knife too to kind of make sure I get that finger off of that trigger before I kind of toss the hand aside and shake out my hand, rub it on my pants.
You are in... Yep. Dawn, as I never give anybody anything in this game, even when it's a donation, you have just received a donation from Architect. This is a 4-shot blunderbuss that will auto-hit. However, all 4 barrels go off at once, and there's nothing to reload.
All right. So I'll check this out, and that's a pretty good find. I also have a chainsaw in the car, so that's cool. Sneak back over to Sam.
Okay, you turn to sneak back over to Sam as several things happen at once. Sam, you turn, and for the first time, the world of Garrett comes into sharper focus around you. And as you see both Dawn creep away, and as you see both Trey and Steve creep towards the bowling alley, your eyes drift upwards for some unknown reason. And there, against the moon, for a beat, you see a large, almost triangular, cobra-like figure, long, almost simian arms hanging below the waist, as it turns to regard you, and much like a beast when caught in the headlights of a car, you see the reflection and the flash of the white, wet orbs in whatever light caused such a reflection. It looks and it's regarding you, not with the eyes of a predator, or should I say, not with the eyes of a beast, but the eyes of something far more intelligent. Much closer to the beast, and out of the ability to see said beast, Trey and Steve, as you guys are standing there, you hear from the inside of the structure, the inside of the bowling alley. What do you want? What the fuck do you want?
There's somebody in there.
Fuck. We don't see the crazy creature she just saw, right? We have no clue that thing's there.
No.
Friends, this is where we're going to do our first intention stage. This is where I'm going to ask all of you to do what you would do in the next 2 seconds, and we are going to see how that plays out. So let's start with no particular order, and we'll see what order in which we go. As Trey, what is your intention after hearing this sound come out of the bowling alley?
First thing that come to mind is look for another entrance outside of where the dumpster's being pushed into the main door. Like if we're on the edge of a corner, is there a way to go around? Just another entrance. That'd be the first thing that came to mind.
Okay. And if you can't find that, do you have a secondary action you'd like to do?
Yeah, get back to the car.
Back to the thing. Okay, back to thing. Steve, what would you like to do in the next couple seconds?
Cover. I'd get behind the dumpster immediately. Anything where that voice came from, I'm going to go out of sight of it. Like, is the dumpster like fate? Is there? Can I get like into the front of the dumpster where they're calling from the bowling alley where they can't see me? Anywhere I can get the cover immediately.
Yeah, you can get around the opposite side. Like put the voice that you heard, the dumpster between you and the place where that voice came from. Dawn, what would you like to do in the next few seconds?
My first goal is to get back to Samantha and stay low and cover, and just use my flashlight to kind of keep a lookout on the opposite side of the car.
Okay, back to thing and lookout. And Sam, as the only one that has seen this creature, what would you like to do?
I'm going to pull out, well, because I didn't walk away with Dawn. Like, how far away is Dawn from me?
We said he was about 10 or 15 feet. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm still next to the car. I am going to reach out and I'm going to grab my pistol and take it out. And I'm going to, or like slowly, and I'm going to, there's no good way to warn everyone. I'm going to try and reach for the light switch and just do another quick like on off to try and get everyone's attention.
Okay, lights to get attention. Okay. So now what I would like all of you to do, you have speed dice as indicated by the blue square. I will let you guys know this. When you roll them, the higher numbers go last. So you want a low number here as you are...
Okay, of course.
Okay. And then... Yeah, Trey, just click on the blue box for me, and we'll see where you... So did I get you, Trey?
My bad. Sorry.
Nope.
Do I input a number by the speed dice or just hit the blue?
It should just be 2 already there. If it says 2, go ahead and hit that. Yep. Okay, perfect. So what I see here is it looks like it's going to be Don, Steve, Sam, and Trey. Okay, Don, roll a spot listen check for me as you see somebody freeze. Sam kind of freeze ahead of you as you're coming back towards the thing. Sam, as you see Dawn moving, and as you have apparently and probably not had the chance yet to act, and your eyes are still locked on this creature's, you see its gaze shift from you to Dawn as he approaches the thing. We now skip to Steve. Steve, you're able to get behind the dumpster. You continue to hear muffled sounds from inside the bowling alley. Is there anything else you would like to do in these next few seconds?
So I don't have a flashlight, so I probably don't. I see her flickering the lights, right?
Not yet. She hasn't gone.
Oh, okay. So I do not see this monster, do I?
What monster?
All right. I'm gonna be like, I'm trying to like get Trey. You know, I was trying to. I would probably try to grab Trey as I went for cover. You know, like, come on, dude, just get behind her with me, dude. But I'll see him probably take off. I'm like, Trey. I'm trying to like get him over behind cover with me. I was like, we got to go around the other way to get him. You know, Trey's done gone. Feet don't fail me now.
Yeah, you're able to get behind there, Steve, and kind of get hunkered down behind the dumpster.
I'm positioning myself for like a shot. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And Trey hasn't had a chance to act yet. Sam, it is now your turn. As you see the beast's eyes go from you to Dawn, and you see it slowly crouch as you've seen a cat do many times before it leaps.
Well, and I've flickered the lights already?
Now you can, yep.
Well, I guess... No, that's not... How close is Dawn to me by now? Like...
Dawn's right up on you.
How close
Dawn,
would he have been able to get to me at this point?
It's only 10 feet, so he was able to clear the whole distance, and he kind of gets right beside you as you see the eyes and the thing crouch down as he's coming forward, unaware of the beast atop the bowling alley.
Okay, it'll be back on. Okay, there we go. Do you hear me now?
Yep, we got you.
Okay. How far away is Don from me by now?
He's 10 feet, so he's closed in. He's with you. He made it from where he was. He's just coming up shoulder to shoulder with you at this second. And the beast's eyes have followed him the whole way, and now they're kind of on the both of you.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, if I can reach out and grab him and like tug him closer to the car, and I'm still gonna like flicker the lights to try and warn the other ones.
Okay. So, Trey, as you are getting ready to go in search of an entrance, perhaps away from this area, away from where the dumpster was set up, and as you're getting up to move, you see Steve get behind the dumpster, and just as you stand up to do something, for a moment, your shadow is illuminated on the dumpster, and then it disappears as the lights have gone on and off of the thing. I will allow you to course correct if you'd like here. And if you tell me what you like to do, and I'll tell you if you can do it in the time you have.
Sorry, my bad. Can you hear me now? Okay. Mm-hmm. My natural response is once I see the lights, it's going to get my attention, and I would change my course to figure out what it is that needs to get my attention. So yeah, I'm going to look that direction. Does that count as an action, or I get an additional action outside of just that?
No, you can look back that way. As the lights would dim, you would see Samantha and Dawn both outside of the thing, kind of using it as cover. You would just know that the lights have come on and off. There was no additional knowledge. I will give you one other thing, since you just looking is, you can compound that with a movement if you'd like. So if you want to move in any direction, now's the chance.
Yeah, I would move to cover. That would be the first thing I would do. I would move to the dumpster then.
Okay, so you join Steve beside the dumpster, and as you get pulled down into place, it is now the creature's turn. And as you're moving back, Trey, to kneel down with Steve, you see darkness, a shadow leap from the top of the building. And as you turn and watch it go over, you see it clear about 35 feet through the air as it lands on top of the thing, ripping through the canvas of the top of the vehicle, its feet punching down into the seats that you have just once occupied. And as it's standing there, almost like it's waiting in the canvas that was formerly your vehicle's roof, it turns and looks, and the two of you, Dawn and Samantha, you see a creature, humanoid, with longish, elevated, and advanced jowls, as it has an underbite that seems to creep far, and a bent jaw. Its arms are pockmarked with various lesions of black, and its arms are awkwardly long, as if they've been dislocated but somehow still operate. And as it turns and looks at the two of you, I'd like you each of you roll a dodge roll for me. You would like some successes here.
Yeah, I'll spend a competency point to succeed.
Here's where things get awful.
Oh.
If you both spend competency points, this is like war. That means that you're both still game. Whoever has the better or higher rate of success or the more failures would be perhaps the target here. So the two of you are there. If you want to get into a competency point war, go right ahead. If you want to straight roll, go right ahead.
Don, you should use you have the gun. You have the big gun. So you use a competency point, and I'll just roll for it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's one success for Don. So you get to go ahead and roll then, and however you go, if you have more successes, then
I doubt I will, but let's see. It's under
okay. Dawn, you see the shadow hit, and you immediately drop and slide down the thing as it rocks and kind of throws your back as it smashes against the side. I will let you guys know everyone does have advantage, as an additional donation was in earlier for advantage, and one has just come in for crit for Dawn. So Dawn, you got another competency point. It did not burn out from the one you just used. As the creature comes down, your dodge is 2 failures, and its attack is 5 degrees of failure. So as this arm comes sweeping across, at the last second, you almost just drop backwards from the knees, Matrix style, Samantha, as you just give way, and this hand goes directly over your nose. You can see the 2 to 3 inch nails creeping from this creature, and you can smell the death that it's already delivered. And as it sweeps past, your face is covered in the fine mist of blood from its former victim. You have survived. And once again, I will ask you all this. We are in an initiative round. What do you want to do? Sam, Dawn, you are right next to this thing. Trey, Steve, you have just seen hell drop from the top of the bowling alley. Your friends and vehicle are in dire straits. I'll start with you guys. Steve, what do you want to do?
I'm going to open fire on it. I mean, since I've been waiting in the wings, it's kind of like holding my action. I'm going to unleash on it with the AK.
Okay. Trey, what do you want to do?
It's still sitting on top of the thing, right?
Yeah, it's like its feet have punched through the canvas top down into the seats as it's kind of wading and ripping the top, trying to negotiate and just blast its way through the canvas of your roof.
Am I close enough to see the fully gassed chainsaw that's still in the car?
You're pretty sure it's still in there, yeah.
It's still, can I see it? Like, cause I want to shoot at the chainsaw to big boom. You know what I mean?
You can see how pretty it is, but it's in your mind. You can't see it with your actual eyes, but you know it's in there and you know it's really pretty.
Okay. I'm going to jump into the dumpster and then use that as cover.
Okay.
It's going to be matching since Steven is already shooting. My pistols are going to add too much more to the fray. I'm jumping into the dumpster for cover, and then I'll do another action on my next round.
Okay, so you're going to hop over from the top down into the dumpster. Dawn.
I can feel it.
Dawn, what would you like to do?
Let me know if I can.
There probably is.
I want to. I'm in the back of the car. I'm right outside the car. Can I reach in and grab the chainsaw?
Sure.
Can I do that and with the other hand shove the shotgun towards Samantha's chest for her to take?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, I will allow you to do both of those things, but I will make you roll 3 speed dice instead of 2, as those are 2 pretty big actions in melee, with reaching in and grabbing the chainsaw and giving a weapon to Sam.
Oh, and I can't do that and attack.
Yeah. If you want to, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you how many dice you have to roll. So you want to hand off the gun, grab the chainsaw, rev the chainsaw, and
then just straight up towards. Assuming this thing's going to come down with another swipe, I'm just going to try to get it going and go up.
Okay. I will allow you to do all of that for the low price of 4 speed dice. Now you could roll 4 ones. You could roll 4 ones, but that gives you more of a chance to roll high with 4 speed dice. So you want to have less speed dice.
Can I use competency points on speed dice? No.
Nope.
All right, yeah, I'll do it. That's my plan.
Okay, so make sure you have 4 speed dice in for your the blue square. And Sam, what would you like to do? I'm assuming shoot a gun if it's pressed into your hand before your turn.
If he's giving me the shotgun, yeah, I'm gonna shoot it, because I guess the thing is like right above me. If I'm Matrix styled, I'm probably on the ground now.
Yeah, you're looking up at the Garrett sky, and this creature that is much closer than the Garrett sky leering over you with this massive underbite as it comes in at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. If you don't have the gun yet, what would you like to do?
If I don't have the, well, if I don't have that gun yet, then I still have my pistol. So then
Yep.
I still shoot with my pistol if I don't have the big shotgun yet.
Gotcha. All right, kids. Let's go ahead and roll them speed dice. Don, you get 4. Okay, let's get a speed dice in from Trey as I go. Pope is given a couple things that'll hopefully come into play here in a second. And we got crits for the party, so more competency points have come in for the party.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, Trey, roll me some speed dice for me, please. 2 on the blue square, and then we'll... Good. So it looks like Sam, and then I'm going to need Steve to do another speed dice roll off as he is going with the creature. But let's see.
5.
All right. Sam, Trey, and I will as well. Ooh, so then it's definitely Steve going 3, creature going 4, Don going 5. Sam, you are up first, and as you have this creature leering over you, no shotgun is put into your hand, as that has not happened yet, but you do have your pistol. If you would like to take a shot, please roll me firearms pistol, as you will be firing the first gun off from this group in this area.
All right. And can I use a competency point?
You
So
certainly
that's-
can, yep.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna burn one.
Okay, I will tell you. And with 1 competency point spent, please roll me 1 damage die. So make sure you have 1 on the thing beside the red square and roll
Okay.
it for me. So you see the pistol burps fire as it comes forward, and you see a shot take it in the shoulder, the same shoulder that it had just swept the air in front of you with, as it looks down and this ichor and blisters kind of drip down on you as you're staring up there with your gun. Trey, you are next as you have elected to jump into the dumpster. As you pull yourself up and leap into the dumpster, you feel the uneven rock beneath you. So roll me a balance check as soon as you kind of get beneath the eye line of the dumpster. You keep your balance, Trey, as you kind of, slip a bit, but you go down to 1 knee. And as you're sitting there angling kind of like through the slide of the dumpster to try to use as much of the metal weight as you can, you see on the opposite side a hand grab, and it pulls up and looks in, and you see the face of Paul, one of the people that was in the truck that you saw idling outside of the bowling alley. But before you get a chance to ask him how he is, he reveals how he is as he turns, and the lower third of his face is gone. And as he begins to climb into the dumpster, you can see this jaw clacking as it's being pulled in an awkward slide, as Paul sees something to eat. Let us go over to Steve. Steve, what would you like to do, buddy? You're going to fire at the creature, correct?
Yeah, as I fire, can I scream at the people of the bowling alley, get out here and help us? Try to see if they're actual people that maybe take a roll of the dice here, that they're actual helpers and not against us.
There are always helpers in the apocalypse, and so as your cry goes out into the air,
Yeah.
I will let you know that the AK-47 has a special ability. If you tell me, you can spend and get 3 successes automatically. However, you will be rolling immediately for depletion dice as you are spraying and praying.
Well, for me to be a little bit more accurate, can I use competency points to not spray and pray and maybe be a little bit more accurate with my shots? I'm going to use 2 competency points.
Okay? For those 2 competency points, as it gets a chance to... it's focused on everybody else. I'm going to allow you to do this. Go ahead and roll me 2 of the blue squares, 2 damage dice for me.
2 damage dice? You mean the red squares?
I'm sorry, the red squares. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I put it up to 2, correct?
Correct. Yep.
10. Boom. I just nailed the thing.
Okay, so Dawn, Trey, everybody that's probably not Samantha, who is like literally underneath this thing, would hear the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba as the AK burps from over at the dumpster. But what you would see, Sam, is you would see the creature begin to push forward as it tears free from the top of the thing, its foot catching on the door and ripping it completely out of its housing. And as it lands beside you for a moment, Sam, where you came to rest, you are almost resting like lovers against this asphalt as the creature, its head against the blacktop, looks at you, and that underbite comes forward. As we go now to the creature, as the creature reaches another arm forward and brings it down towards Sam.
Do I need to do a dodge? No,
You can do a dodge, or if you spend 3 competency points, you can outdo what it's doing. Do you have enough left?
Yeah, I have enough left. You know what? I have a feeling that... Can I do a dodge and then use my competency points? Or do I have to use my competency points first?
If you do a dodge and elect to do it, you certainly can use your competency points. However, if you were to roll 5 failures, you would have to negate those before you could grab the successes.
I'm gonna use all of them. I'm gonna burn them all to roll away from this giant guy who's right next to me.
So Dawn, you would see all of a sudden this thing crashes directly beside Sam, and she just lumberjack barrel rolls out of the way as she comes towards you, and this thing swipes again, getting more and more frustrated by this elusive person that continues to rob it of its bloodlust and its prey. And Sam, you roll clear. Again, you feel, perhaps it's more of a sensorial feeling, the air whip just by your neck as this hand reaches again and smashes the blacktop behind you. Dawn, it is your turn, my friend, as now you are staring at this creature as it starts to pull itself upright.
Yeah, he's got the back door. I've got the back door unzipped at this point. I will toss, how far away from me is Sam?
Sam rolls right past you. So you literally, as she's rolling, you can drop the shotgun onto her.
Yeah. I'll shove the shotgun towards her. I'm gonna get that chainsaw out. I'm gonna rev it up and I'm gonna bring it down right. And I've seen this creature take some shots, and it's still swiping. I'm going for the neck. This chainsaw, and I'll do whatever I have to do.
Absolutely. So as you're coming in and as this creature has already done some of its moves for this round, you're coming in with the chainsaw, and as the chainsaw that everybody believed to be a trap for the 4 sessions that have gone forward is actually a super weapon. Dawn, I would like you to roll 4d6 as you Bruce Campbell this shit. Sam, as the creature stands up, you see, just like Evil Dead, you see Dawn pull out this chainsaw with one absolutely smooth pull. It roars to life, and as he brings it up and down, you hear the and you are covered in this gore. And as he brings it down, you see it cut from shoulder through sternum as it blisters through the humanoid bone that it used to possess. And as it's going down, organs of bright green and black empty and spray out of it as Dawn gets it all the way down to the waist, and with one final push he comes through and it splits in 2 as this creature drops, still moving independently. The side that has the head still seems to be somewhat alive.
What?
It's not aggressive. It just seems to still be alive as it's kind of flailing. The side that was on the opposite side of the shoulder.
Just like wipe the gore from my face.
It's dead.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. No need to be clean in the apocalypse.
Maybe there's a shower in the bowling alley.
There always is.
There's always a shower in the bowling alley.
Okay, so as we drop out of this initiative round, we are going to go to just one initiative round with my buddy Trey, who is inside a dumpster with a zombie. As Trey, what I'd like you to
love.
Trey, roll me the blue square with 2 dice, please.
Gotcha. Give me that dumpster love.
What? What is it?
That's a great song.
Top of the charts. It's a hit.
Okay, and so as the creature comes in, the former friend known as Paul, it attacks. I need you to roll a dodge roll as you are trying to get away. You can spend competency points here, or you can make the roll.
Oh no, I'm spending a competency point.
Okay. So what we'll say here is, Steve, as you've just fired off these shots and seen Dawn sever this thing in half, you turn and look just in time to see Trey push through the side of the dumpster as he kind of is burst out of the side of the dumpster, drops to the ground in front of you as he's kicking with his feet, and inside you can see the zombie now as it is moving with its just kind of a mandible left on the side there.
Can I shoot it?
Yeah, I'll let you put him out of his misery. Poor Paul.
All right, I'm gonna try to put it out of its misery. Whew, I don't know.
Okay, so as you turn in to shoot, we gotta roll off here, bud. Roll your attack. Roll your attack one more time.
Ah!
Okay, so as you turn in to shoot, this hand grabs hold of yours, pulls you towards as it goes to bite, and you stick the barrel of the AK and pow, shoot and blast it off of you just before its teeth hit.
Bone-sucking fucking maggot!
I would like everyone to roll spot listen checks for me, please.
For some reason, I'm better than all of you now.
Right. Samantha, while you don't catch it early enough to react to it, you are the first of the group to see that standing in what looks to be almost like a pot-bellied stove, an armor much similar to a knight over the head with a grill across the eyes. You see this thing step forward and you hear the kook, kook. And before you have a chance to kind of quizzically cock your head like, what the fuck? You see it raise up some type of rod in its hand. And as you guess what it is, about a second after it activates, you see the gout of flame as a flamethrower erupts from outside of this creature, and you see fire lance and spread against the thing. As you see, all of you see this person just hosing down the thing with a flamethrower. Steve and Trey, you guys are the closest, and from the top of the bowling alley, you hear, "Children! Children, we have non-believers in our midst. They are here to provide us with salvation in the form of flesh. You wanted help. You called for us. And we are here." From a semicircle.
We called cannibals. That's what we did.
From a semicircle around the area, you see stepping out with various firearms some of them carrying flamethrowers as well, about 10 in number, as they creep from the opposite alleyways from the strip mall and from the alleyway towards the residential houses on the other side of the bowling alley. And as they creep towards you, you notice that they are all wearing overalls. And on the overalls, it says Mega. I'm going to ask you all for another intention check. What would you like to do?
So is the guy with the flamethrower, is he like trying to hit Dawn and I? Or wait, where is he? Is he closer to Steven or is he closer to Dawn and I?
He is right on you and Dawn, but he is burning the thing. He is not burning you.
Okay,
now,
so just... Wait, do you mean the thing is the car or is the thing is the zombie?
The thing is the car. The Volkswagen thing is currently being burned. So as the Volkswagen thing is being eaten alive by the flames of righteous retribution, the maniac that has delivered his decree from the top of the Red Oaks bowling alley has called forth his cult of Mega. And I would like to know now what you, the cult of survivors, would like to do, as this is an very, very important movement. I'll start with Dawn. Dawn, what would you like to do, bud?
Well, is the car already on fire?
Yeah, it's burning up. You guys didn't have a chance to notice it before this thing turned on the full... I mean, it's being laced with liquid fire right now.
One dude on top of a roof, one dude wearing knight's armor with a flamethrower, 4 hillbillies with guns. What do they have?
There's more than 4, but you can see that everyone that seems to be appearing from the shadows has some type of firearm or projectile weapon. You're pretty sure you see at least 2 more of these flamethrowers, but everyone seems to be holding a rifle, shotgun, some type of firearm.
I will run as fast as I can around the back of the car, away from the flamethrower, and try to dive into that dumpster.
Okay.
Hey, wait. Is that the hatch? Is the dumpster the hatch? Am I understanding that right? Or is it 2 separate things?
Yeah. If you go into the dumpster, then you will have access to the hatch. Or on top of the dumpster, you would have access to the hatch. Yep.
Yeah. I think my idea is to go up, not down, but that's the way I'm going.
Okay, so Dawn, if that is your movement just to run your ass off, you will only need to make 2 speed dice for me. And we'll say that this action will get you into the hatch if that is your ultimate destination.
Okay.
Very good. And Sam, what would you like to do?
Well, after seeing, I guess, did Dawn, would he technically run past me?
If he goes first, he will be running. Yep.
And I would have called out to you too, like, come on, we got to go.
Okay. Yeah, I would follow. I'd probably be trying to run back towards where Trey and Steven are, so where that hatch is as well, like running away from the car and away from this flame throwing nightman.
Okay, so as you guys are running, same thing, 2 speed dice for the both of you. Trey, what would you like to do as you are right beside Steven by the dumpster?
Can I fire at the closest hillbilly night mesh thing and jump down the hatch right behind him? Can I?
I will allow you to do that, but you'll have to roll 3 speed dice for me. But yes, you can definitely do that. And I will even go so far as to say this, Trey. If you do fire on them, I will bump both Dawn and Sam up by 1 in the initiative order.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna fire and flee.
Okay. So you'll be rolling 3 of the speed dice, so make sure 3 is indicated by the blue square. Steve, what do you want to do?
So this is a hatch like to get away, in our opinion, or is this a dumpster that they're jumping into?
It looks like there is a dumpster, but there is a hatch, kind of a man-made hatch that looks like it drops into the bowling alley.
Did they come out of the bowling alley, or are they on the opposite side of the bowling alley?
The words coming from the roof. You don't hear anything from inside other than that scream you guys heard earlier.
And the scream was like, "What do you want? Why are you here?" That kind
Exactly.
of scream.
Yep.
Is there anybody behind me?
There's clowns to the left of you, jokers to the right, my friend.
Stuck in the middle.
That's exactly right, my friend.
Ah, fuck. If I use company points, do I think I can get to the hatch quickly?
You can't use them for speed dice, but you can use them on your rolls to affect it. If you want to shoot, you can do the same thing that Trey is going to do. If you want to shoot and get in, I'll make you roll 3 speed dice, but it'll help your friends get there.
I'm not worried about shooting. I'm worried about getting to the hatch.
Okay. If you're just going
Do
straight
like a slide
in,
into the hatch, kind of. Yeah, I want to do like a baseball slide.
okay. If you're just running and not firing, 2 speed dice then.
Can I use advantage?
Not for speed dice, because that determines your area that you're going, but you can.
Okay.
Okay, and then I, of course, will roll... Whoops, I need to get other people up here. Give me 1 second, everybody, to fight my mouse. So, as you all run, Trey, take a shot. Roll me a firearms long gun as everything happens at once here. Once the results of Trey's shot go in, I will let you know. So, everyone, as Trey, you line up and fire and take your shot, there is a ping from behind Dawn and Samantha as they're running, and you basically shoot over their shoulders. That ping is the fuel line from the flamethrower being hit. And as it hits, there is a roar of fire from behind Sam and Dawn. In somewhere, even a dead Michael Bay is erect as this explosion illuminates the 2 figures as they run towards you. Steve, you run and kind of turn to see this explosion as you are the first to slide into the bowling alley. And as you slide into the bowling alley, you are quickly followed by Trey, who is quickly followed by both Samantha and Dawn. You all arrive within 10 seconds of one another as you get in, and the last of you through can pull the hatch shut behind you. And as you're sitting there and as you look around, your eyes adjust quickly because there is light inside here, but it is not artificial. Against the far walls, what would have been the wide wall above where the pins at the end of the alley would be housed and stacked, you see written inside of pentagrams 4 letters, M-E-G-A. There are red candles made from some unknown fat dripping down onto the old lanes. And there, crucified, are the other members of your faction that had driven the Dodge Ram. And as you all turn and look at your fallen friends, you hear from the darkness, "They were unbelievers." And that's where we'll end this session of Outbreak Undead.
Oh.
I do not to go in that damn hatch. That's why I was wondering, where did they come from? I was going to go the other way.
I don't know how far we would have gone without the car.
I think we killed our way through this. That's the way I see. This is the headcanon I have. We kill all of them. We win.
We survived.
We did survive. So
You guys are alive at the end. You have taken no damage And so at this point, it is
We
safe
kicked
to
his
say
ass.
the group before you made it further distance-wise, but they were hurt at the end. You all are in a predicament, but you are all perfectly healthy. None of your guns are out. So, Dawn, your headcanon is at least in play. So,
That's right. And you have like an automatic crit, don't you, Dawn? Didn't he get one? Someone.
Yep. The gun is an auto crit. So, here's what I will tell everyone. For anything that was not used during this session, for any crit that was put into play, because none of you were hurt, the crew behind you is going to get benefits and could potentially find some of the things that you've left. They will not be in the same place, but they will be re-entered into the Garrett area. However, you did not set off the flare. So the group coming in fact, we'll end it with this. As the scene on Red Oaks Bowling Alley fades, and we go through the Garrett air, pointing back towards the west, 5 Harley motorcycles roar down the road, and for a moment, a stop is called by the lead rider. And as the stop hits, as each of these leather-clad survivors motion for a moment, the leader takes off her helmet, and as Kiana looks towards the distance, she sees not a flare, but she sees the spray and explosion of a flamethrower, which is warning enough. And that is where we will pick up next episode, as the riders will hit with our final one, Don't Fear the Reaper. So, as we have gone through Outbreak Undead, let us go through, and in opposite order, I will talk to everybody. Trey, what did you think, my friend? And congratulations. You almost got bit, but you made it, bud.
I live to fight another day. Baby steps, man. That's all I want is just baby steps. Oh man, yo, what a great ride. That was an amazing ride, man. That went well above what I was expecting, man. Bravo, man. And what a die-hard crew of just roughneck, thug-ass folks that I'm rolling with. Everybody just played well, man. What a great team. I'll roll with y'all any day. This is how we do. We chainsaw people and blow shit up. That's how we do. So let me know when the next one is, man, so we can put this foot in people's asses. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So glad to have you here. First time on the channel. My buddy Trey and I are on Starward Bound every Tuesday on WebDM. We play brothers on there. He's a half elf, I'm a halfling, but somehow we're brothers, and that's all that matters as we cause some serious shit. Let's drop down to my other brother, Steven. Steven, how'd you do, buddy, and did you like the zombie apocalypse?
I had an absolute blast. I love playing with these 4. I loved your story, brother. We're ready to listen. We're I feel like we're in COD right now. We're 4 ass-kicking, zombie killing, redneck shooting, foot to ass, as Trey said. It's on. Let's do this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Nice. And like Don said, very similar to the way we ended last week's, where whether or not the bad guys in play were going to win, this one is very much up in the air. So how you guys have gotten here definitely will help Kiana and the crew coming up next week. Everybody, links in chat for both Trey and Steve. Please follow them, because as I've always said, we like to have nice people on the channel, and you should have nice people in your lives. It is not necessarily nice this 2018, so surround yourself with goodness and happiness. I know I have, and it has made all the difference. Speaking of new friends, let us go over to Samantha. Samantha, how did you like your time in the zombie apocalypse? And thank you so much for joining us here on the channel for the first time.
Thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. I had a great time. It was nothing like I expected it to go, but we survived, and I'm so excited about that. I was really worried there towards the beginning with all of my spotless and fails, but I had a great time. That was so exciting and so like heart pumping. Oh, it was great. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. I had a great time.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, so nice to have you on the channel. And this is the first time we shall sling dice again, and hopefully it'll be much sooner than it is later. As we jump over to Don, known on the channel, DM on the channel, how did you like the zombie apocalypse, my friend? And before you answer, I will answer Architect in chat. The shotgun gets reintroduced and will be in play for the next group, and it will be far easier to find, as this group has kind of tilted the playing field for the one that follows. So look for the shotgun next week, everybody. It's too dope not to get shot, so we will have it next week. Don, how you doing, bud?
Man, I'm great. I found a chainsaw. I got to use the chainsaw, found a shotgun. I'm glad that that stuff gets recycled. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. And I think the more I think about this headcanon, I think I would probably have some kind of internal conflict as to whether or not I would try to kill our way through these hillbilly cultists, or just be like, fuck it, I'll join you. What do I got to do? Like, who do I got to eat? I don't know where I would land on that, but I would be thinking about it a little bit. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter. I play other games. I had such a great time playing with everybody here. I actually really like the system. It's really fun. It's not kind, but it's really fun. And I am in Project Cronus, which will be coming back here in a few weeks, I think. And then on Wednesdays on the channel, I'm DMing May Black Roses Bloom, a Dark Dragonlance D&D 5e campaign. We just had our session 0 and our episode 1. Last night was episode 1, 2 nights ago. I know time. It was great. I'm having so much fun with that game. And I hope I get a chance to play this again in the future. This is a lot of fun.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And everybody that contributed, I saw the armor and all of that. I will let you know that if it will help Don in the future, wink, wink, they will keep their donations that were given. If it is something to go into play for next week, I will put it back in there. That chainsaw sat there for 3 episodes before somebody decided to pick it up. Super weapon. I can't tell you how many people, one point it was thrown back. Someone picked it up and was like, nope, and threw it back. It's got to be a trap. So, and you know what? I felt bad, but not really, because you guys got it and you're able to cut something in half with it.
We've played too many games, buddy.
You know, never leave a weapon. If it's a chainsaw, it's got to be good. It's zombies. No, awesome, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Chat, you're always fantastic. Your support means so much. Everybody that threw their stuff out, Lord Conti, Pope, you guys make everything go. By the way, Pope, between you and me, buddy, you saved my night on Wednesday. You saved him, and I appreciate it. You and Steven and everybody that he was via con Dios. And there's some interesting stuff that's happened to Sir Reardon on May Black Roses Bloom. And I thank chat, Pope, everybody in particular. It was absolutely fantastic. This game was the best. We may see this group again. Who knows? But until such time as the zombie apocalypse makes itself manifest here in 2018, which could be tomorrow, take it easy, everybody. Surround yourselves with these fantastic people. Stay happy, stay light on your feet, and remember, cardio, cardio, cardio. We'll see you.